So I've got a few more. This is from Gail. Gail is asking me, how difficult is it to maintain the proper accent when taping, and how long did it take you to master? Gail, I'm London born and raised, right? So I am going to take a little bit of issue with the term the proper accent. But I'm going to just assume you meant the proper accent for Wes. How difficult is it to maintain? It's not actually very difficult anymore, which I'm not sure I ever would have said that. The reason I some of you might know, but I kind of do something a bit odd. I basically put on the American accents, like flicky a switch, that I do for Wes, pretty much when I go through security at Heathrow. So at the very beginning of the season, as I leave the UK, I go through security and I start speaking in an American accent, and I stay doing that until shooting wraps. The only reason I'm not doing it now is that when I do something public, I switch back to my British one. But with, excluding these exceptions, I'm doing that accent all of the time. Like I think in it, I talk in it all the time. When I switch back at the end of the season, it happened last season, so after we wrap, I go back to my British accent. I was talking like that for a bit. I went to bed, I woke up in the morning, was talking to my roommate. About 3 hours into the day, I realized I was back to American. So it becomes utterly instinctive, and hopefully convincing because of that. But that was the aim, because I'd never worked in the accent before. I wanted to make it as good as it can be. I didn't want to, ruin the show for people because I sounded funny or didn't sound right. So it was something I was very determined to get right and kind of spent time working on. So it took a lot of work, and that is one of the hardest things to say you're going to do it the whole time, because socially it's a bit bizarre. We were doing the pilot when I kind of first started doing that, and I had thought about doing it initially. And the first person I met was Matt McGorry, and I just in the entrance of the hotel in Philly that we were staying at, and I saw him, and I'd Googled him, and he Googled me, so like we recognized each other even though we'd never met. And I was like, "Hi!" And I just my resolve to like speak in American disappeared immediately because I was like, "It's too weird." So I kind of talked like this for about 3 days, and I was like, I decided that it's going to help me to do the accent the whole time. So I thought, I have to do it. If I think it's going to make my work better, I've got to do it. So I just came down one morning and I was talking American. I was like, "Hi everyone, I'm going to talk like this now," which was so awkward. I can't even begin to explain how awkward it was. So that's how difficult it was. It was so difficult that I did that. And I would go to like Dunkin' Donuts in the morning before we shot in Philadelphia and like order a muffin or something, but I'd do it in the accent, and I'd be like, "Oh, like I'm gonna get rumbled, like they're gonna tell I'm putting it on." Like it was so like, it's a very difficult thing before you're confident in it, but it really helped. So that's kind of how hard it was, but that's what enabled it to become instinctive and easy. I've even been told that I sleep talk in the accent, so I think it's become pretty normal now.